Hello, hello. What is going on? It is me, Jay Renard, and we are doing prep for the market. Get some extra light in here. All right. So I've got a few things that are more or less ready to go. I do have to cut a couple of panels. Actually, I thought I cut these panels. Where are they? All right. Well, I have one, two, three panels to cut, and then we'll be ready to go. And after I'm done with these panels, getting them ready to go right here. Actually, this will be a future project, so that's off to the side. So after I'm done with these, getting them cut and ready to go, I will be taking requests. All right. So let's get the background music rolling. Always my favorite time. Hopefully, it's not too loud. It definitely is, but let's turn it down a bit. There we go. Oh no, that's loud. Okay, it's a little better. And let's share with everybody. Let them know that they can get some free stuff off me. Hey, hey, what's going on? First person in the stream. If you would be so kind, slide me a like. I would appreciate it. And uh, or not. All right. Share it on one thing. Now let's roll on another. And roll with the Twitter. Okay, appreciate the like. Almost ready to go. All right. So, like I said, we will be prepping these ones to get stitched up, and after those are done getting prepped, if anybody has any suggestions, I'll take those. Otherwise, I'll just be picking stuff at random to make wallets from. So, again, I would much rather prefer input, mostly because I know that I can be kind of self biased. I don't want to do that. And I will be, for the most part, in solid view of my chat. But if I miss a question or a comment or something like that, please have a bit of grace with me. Please don't take it personally. that's or a comment or something like that, please have a bit of grace. Oh wait, turn that down. Here we go. Bring this brightness down so it doesn't run out of battery too quick. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Sweet, sweet. Got more people in the chat. I appreciate that. And what's up with my sound here? There we go. So again, shout out to everybody in the chat. I appreciate you rocking with me. Whoa, that is very loud. Drive that back down a bit. There we go. All right, Sirius, what's going on? Hey, man, no need to explain. I appreciate all of the interest and the effort and everything. I really do. So anything that you can show up for, I am insanely appreciative of it. So yeah, what we're gonna be doing today, we're gonna prep these for stitching. I've got some American alligator with the glazed finish for the wave wallets, for the back piece, and for the bottom pocket with veg tan. Then a piece of Horween Derby there and there with some with the veg tan for the pockets there. As a matter of fact, let's just go ahead and break this out now. Cut a couple of these pieces off, get it ready. How have you been, man, Mr. Serious? Hopefully everything's been going smooth and well for you. Haven't heard of too many shenanigans coming out on the East Coast. Nothing crazy happening in the Carolinas, so that's good. All right, yeah, I don't think I should need anything more than what this is providing. All right. Get this to lay flat. Oh man, 3 in the chat, that's what I'm talking about. I appreciate everybody coming through. It's laying flat right there. Actually, I'm going to grab the microphone so there's a little bit better sound. I'll be right back. Give me a little bit of grace. I'll be back as soon as I can. All right, hopefully that didn't take very long. Not really very crazy in Texas. I mean, or nothing crazier than it usually is. Thankfully, where I live, a whole lot less drama. Mostly people just working hard and trying to just do their thing. All right, I'm about to plug the mic in. All right, not getting any alerts, so let's hope the volume came through properly for that. And I'll have that ready to go just in case I have to sneeze off camera. All right, so let's go on ahead and prep. So what I'm going to do, whoa, that was foolish. Don't fall down again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break out the clicker dies. But unlike last stream, or maybe it was the one before, where I was swinging back and forth, showing things to one side or the other. Hold on. Let's move that out of the frame there. There we go. I'm just going to keep everything here just to avoid moving things around and readjusting, all that other good stuff. So you'll just have to take my word for it that I am pressing down and clicking things. I mean, you're going to see the results of it anyway, so it's not that big a deal. All right. So here's the piece. And let me see if I need to break out anything else. I do. So I have to cut 2 pockets for this one here. All right. So let's get to it. And again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to let me know. And of course, I would have ruined that because I let the die piece move on the inside. That's what we're about over here on this channel. Transparency. You can't do something foolish and embarrassing without everybody knowing about it. There we go. Proper piece there. So I'm going to see if I can finagle one of these from this piece. I should be able to. And that's called not wasting your money. Screw it. rock solid. Do. Actually, I can certainly do this. All right. Don't screw this up. You know what they say? Before grace comes humility. And let me tell you, I got a lot of grace coming my way. Wow, I just realized I should have cut a third piece out for this. And that's called poor planning. Go. Boom. So, not too terrible. So for these here, a bunch of it is going to be scrap, but some of it is a good enough size to be used for watch bands. That one definitely. The rest, not so much. So, scrap bin. Wait, is this 2 or 3 pieces? That is 3, so I need another one of these. Ta-da! There we go. All right. These are too small for much anything. All right. Now we are good to go. Put this back where I can easily access it. And now, because I hate myself, I will be skiving. But because I don't hate myself too much, I'm going to use the French skiver. That one's a lot easier to use. I'm also very shamelessly using the glass plate with my company logo on it. You know what? If we're going to be that shameless, yep, if we're going to be that shameless, we might as well go all the way. This is proper advertising. I'm sorry, proper branding. There we go. Let's see if I can work this over here with less glare. That is not an option. All right. We're going to call that a win, that my shamelessness is not fully rewarded. Although, come on. There we go. However, if anyone is curious, I got this a couple of years ago from a seller on eBay. Let me get this excess glue off of here. It is laser engraved in reverse on the back, so that from the working surface you can see everything. So it's got the whole logo on there and the motto, skill, passion, and quality. I'm wondering how glue got on here when I rarely ever use this surface for glue. This must be old. All right, so the reason why you should skive on glass or on surfaces like quartz or granite, it's because of the smoothness, but also the hardness of glass. And Sarius, you might have been here on stream when I talked about it. You might not have been, but we talked about hardness and toughness. So glass on the hardness scale, which I believe is a Vickers scale, is harder than steel. But steel is tougher than glass. Truthfully, even plastic is tougher than glass. They can both be struck, deform, and reform. Glass cannot. However, if you take a piece of steel and you scratch glass, nothing happens. But if you take a piece of glass, if it were broken or very sharp, honestly not even very sharp, if it were just sharp, you could scratch steel. So, when you are skiving, I'll explain what I just did there in a moment, but for the record, don't do that. So when you're skiving and you go off of the piece and you hit the glass, the steel from the metal, or steel from the handle, won't go into the glass and cause damage to the tool or break the glass. It'll just hit and go off. So that's why you should always skive onto glass or very smooth quartz or granite. Don't skive on marble. That is just bougie. Nobody needs to skive on marble. And if you have marble, all right, cool. But it's a beautiful and very hard stone, but you don't need to do that. Oh, and while we're here, this is a pretty thin leather to begin with, but if you're working with something that is of a sturdier substance, something like this here, yeah, and for comparison, and you want to take away some of the bulkiness of the piece that you're working with, French skivers are great for that because they're designed to pull material from the middle. You just work in overlapping rows. and you can remove a lot of bulk. So you can make your piece nice and slimmer profile. So what I have seen some people do is they'll just skive along this line here. They'll follow the curve. If it's curved, a lot of times these pockets are straight or maybe at an angle, but not a lot of dynamic cuts to it. Although I do have to note that this has a thin spot right here, so I got to be careful I don't go through. So I'm easing up on the pressure right there. I'm out. So now I've got the pocket that up here where it meets up with the rest of the pieces. So this here will be the same thickness, but the rest of the body won't be. This isn't necessary for truthfully most things, but since I'm here and I'm prepping, might as well do the thing. All right. Again, this is a French skiver. The one I have is from Palo Santo. Unless you are very, very comfortable with your skiving ability and you're looking for better tools in which to work, as much as I love Palo Santo, I don't recommend them to your beginning or even your better than novice leather crafter. It's a lot of money. There we go. And for anybody in the chat, again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I will do my best to answer. Yep, trying to decrease the clutter on the stream here. These two, 1, 2, 3. That goes right there. These are fine. All right. No. There we go. Now, I'm going to leave these as is. Actually, I mentioned this on the last stream. So this piece here that I cut didn't look so hot down here, but truthfully, the working end of this piece is going to be here. So I chose to use it mostly because I didn't want to waste the piece. Same thing with this little notch that's missing right here. The business end of the piece is down here. So I can still just stitch across here, no problem. Everything will be fine. So if it can still be used and the customer doesn't experience a decrease in functionality, Please use all of your material. You spent money on it. Don't feel bad for not wanting to throw anything away. Anything that's left to waste is basically money you threw away. That's why I'm keeping my scraps that are wide enough and usable for things like watch bands. They're not getting thrown away. They're going in the scrap bin. And when I don't feel like making something new, or I'm sorry, using a big piece of hide, I'll start knocking out smaller pieces or doing things like inlays, practice on my stamping, something. They'll get some use from them. Went too far right there. I felt that went too far. Scrap it is. This will affect functionality. A card could catch on the inside of there. How did I press down so much? It must have just got thinner like that one piece did. Just didn't feel it. Can I salvage that? Nope. Trash. So this piece will... I'm gonna have to rob from Peter to pay Paul. I'll just do this piece last. And be more careful. Where's the other pocket? There we go. Nope. Here we go. One of these days, I'm going to have such a great stream that everybody's going to want to watch. It'll be bigger than Twitch. I doubt that. Why did I start both sides? Come on. One side, then the other. There's a process. Rookie. Terrible wrist position right there. Thankfully, you only need to stitch the middle, but that is what happens. I was thinking about how awesome my stream should be. Didn't focus on the plan. Now look. And I think I'm going to leave this one a bit chunky just to see how this turns out. But ultimately, that one's going to look like this here. So we'll have some of this action here. Some of that, this there on the back. But yeah. So that's how these will all look. This one will be a project for next week. I'll be tooling the back. Not sure exactly with what, but I'll figure it out. So that's what all these are going to look like, but with their various hides. Let's get these properly butted up. Tempted to just fully invest in an overhead rig for filming because there's this post here that's in the way, so I can't fully move my arms. I have to move my hands around stuff all the time, and then I have to make sure that certain things, especially the stuff that I'm wearing, are not on camera. again, not sponsored. I wish I was, but this here is Aqualim 315 from that I got from District Leather. I don't want to say from District Leather. I don't think they manufacture it. Get some of this excess off. There we go. Should be able to see that mark that I made right about there. That is the bottom of the card slot and is thus the glue line. Come on. There we go. Some of this excess off so it can dry and get a little tacky quicker. And add some of that to the edge of this because why not? Come on, get that bend out. It's a little better. Whoa, getting ahead of myself. Dial it back. Here we go. This, and this. So post stream, I'll be doing the stitch up. It just requires far too much moving around while on stream to do that. So these will be getting ready. Should have did this before, but I'm lining this up at the very bottom. The bottom of the binder clip keeps this in place, lays it flat. I think it was a good idea to have removed the bulk of this material. It's really easy to lay everything down. Come on, stay in place. So I'm just using the back of that scalpel to keep everything nice and aligned. I'm just trying to nick the material. The proper tool for that would be a scratch-all, but guess what dummy left his scratch-all in the bag in the car? I'd say it wasn't me, but I don't want to lie on stream. Sorry if my big head gets in frame there. There we go. Good alignment. So you might be wondering why I don't just stitch them in place now. And that's because the machine that I have for these small cards is actually pretty good at getting in between these card pockets. You know, it's not good, me putting the weight of my forearm on that damn cutting blade. You know what? I think this music might be a little too loud. Let's go. There we go. It's a little more stream appropriate. So yeah, I can just glue these in place and then take care of the stitching after. I don't need to quick stitch them in place with anything, no saddle stitch or anything like that. I've done that before in the past. It falls under not a bad idea, but also not a necessary one. Also, I'll be adding the edge paint and everything, 1 or 2 coats prior to stitching also. That again is also not a stream activity. It's just very time consuming. You're literally watching paint dry, which is not what the stream is about. So there's that. I mean, I think highly of myself, but I don't think so highly of myself that I believe people should tune in to watch paint dry with me. That's a level of narcissism I don't think I'll ever reach. Thank you, but no thank you. There we go. Boom. Encouragement. Stupid. Why did I do that? Here we go. Stay together. Boom. And And Sarius, you are an absolute trooper because you are sticking around despite uh, not very entertaining happenings going on. But if you got any questions while I'm doing this very tedious silliness right here, I will gladly answer. You know what? This should be really easy. Hold on one second. How wide is this? This is slightly more than a 1/4 inch, but I don't have the markings on my mat. But I do have a zero that out. .30, and there's 2 of these, so 0.6. If I measure 0.6 from the bottom, then that should be my mark. Thank you, science. Come on, there we go. Nope, not 6'1", there we go. And that is not a very solid mark now, is it? It's still not really much of one. That one's better. Still stayed at 0.6 and off. So if I put this there, let's hope my math pays off. Because if so, I'm just gonna go with that and then keep it rocking whole rest of the time. Boom. The other piece. Boom. Encouragement. Bonus points if somebody can name where that came from. And if I am real lucky, I won't have to realign this. I'm pretty sure I'm solid though. Oh yes, science and math for the win. 0.6 inches. Please tell me I didn't poorly align that. Alright, good on this side, and I just laid this down at the wrong angle, so I just got to bring this down. Oh yeah, that's definitely out of alignment. Stupid. That should be better. Corner lines up. Corner lines up. Oh yeah. I'm happy. There's my other binder clips. All right, that is as close to ready for stitching as I can get it without actually stitching. Oh yeah, that's getting tacky. That's a very crude way to get rid of excess glue, but it does work. It's just gonna roll up in your hands, and then you just throw it away, toss it on the shop floor to get swept up, all that good stuff. Definitely works. All right. Whoa. Let's hope that nothing broke, but something definitely fell. And if I am very, very unlucky, which I believe that I am, that fell to the inside of my toolbox. No. Well, whatever fell, I either didn't need or it's gone for good. I'm not going to dig for it on stream. Let's go. Nope. Come on. You opened up to 0.61. That's not how we roll. Okay. Got another person in the chat. Super awesome. How's it going? We are happy to have you. As is stated in the description, if you have any questions or concerns or requests, feel free to make them. If it's not too time consuming or expensive on my end, I'll do it. Or rather, I'll make it. If you ask me to destroy something I'm making, that's not going to happen. All right. Okay, so these are as ready to go as I can get them before I start stitching, which means wandering over to at least one, possibly two machines. So we are officially in the make a request section of the stream. So if you have anything that's you want to see. Either you just want to see the material or you want to know what I have. If you want to see a certain type of thing get made, especially if I have templates for it, I'm down for it. So ask away. Go ahead and pop up in the chat. I am here for it. Let me go ahead and put that notification in the timeline for the rest of the social medias. And it doesn't really matter what the question is. If you have a question about material or a process or something that you want to see, you want to ask what I've been working on or anything that I have completed, by all means, ask away. As long as it's not too personal, I don't see why I wouldn't give you the answers. Do do do. Do do do. Yep. Let's see what we got here. Make sure I post all the. Whoa. Do do do. Hashtag taking requests. Ask away. With the smiley face, of course. Do do do. And for good measure, let me post it on this other thing too. Because I'm just trying to get as many eyeballs on and see who wants to engage. I wonder if it is possible to share to Instagram from YouTube. One hopes. Only via message. Well, I had good intentions. All right, what silliness can I get into here? I think I might have to do a story, and I don't fully understand Instagram stories. And of course, my music stops. And I think that's it. All right, I don't fully understand social media all that well, but I think I did it right. So, the good news is not getting a whole bunch of questions. Well, the bad news is that I was hoping more folks would just, randomly just ask me stuff. But the good news is now I get to just do stuff. There's no wrong answers technically, so that's always good. Come on. And of course, it would be problematic. Into the drawer. Damn you. Making me look bad on stream. There we go. Actually, I won't need this. I will need that. And probably not that, but these. And this will be for later. Tuck these right there. Boom. All right. So, very recently, when I was showing a friend of mine, well, I was trying to show him the furs that I had, and I was laughing a bit because where we live is very hot, as in the high today, at least the last time I looked at it, at about 2 p.m., was 82 degrees. So we live in a place that's really hot. And there are some cold snaps every now and then, but they're not very long lasting. Maybe week and a half, 2 weeks max. Then it'll go back to acceptable temperatures. So I have all these furs that I wasn't going to use, or that at least I won't have much of a need for here. And while I was looking for them, we came across all these other hides that I thought I had all my hides in the same place, and I was wrong. So I think I might have found about $2,000 worth of extra exotic hides, maybe more. Especially now because I found a bunch of pachyderm hide, and that stuff goes for about um, $48 to $50 a square foot. Found a bunch of that just chilling. So I want to use some of that today, or tonight rather. Where are those pieces? I don't want to cut from the huge piece. It was a veritable treasure trove of these hides. And I believe I might have put them all, I'll just roll them up and put them all back with each other. So there's an example piece. And these pieces, there should be. There's another one. And another piece. Just all these extra scraps of pretty expensive hide. And so these were the smaller pieces, and there were a whole bunch of other much larger pieces of the pachyderm. So this is, you can tell from the pieces there, they're from two different hides. One is more of a maroon, this one's more of a brown. So this is from the body. You can tell from all the wrinkles and everything in the body panels. They're wider, much further spaced apart. And this is from the ear. And there's very few wrinkles in it. Maybe a few bends and whatnot, but very few wrinkles, especially as compared to this. So let's make something out of that. It's a beautiful color. It's nice and slim. A little fuzzy on the back, but that's not a big deal. And it's a pretty good piece. The color goes with most things. So take these back to the scrap bin. And no disrespect to the size there. It's just that if I can't roll it up and put it away, then it goes in the scrap bin. This piece here, a lot can come from it depending on what I'm trying to make. And let me find something corresponding that I can work with it. And I think this will do well, actually. Nope, that's a liner. Actually, you know what? It's a beautiful liner. There we go. Ah, 3 people in the chat. What's going on? What's going on? All right, so this is a Bordeaux, if I'm not mistaken, a wine-colored horsehide from. I got this from Maverick Leather Company. I think this is a Horween hide, although I don't know if there's any marking on the back. There isn't, but I don't know anyone else making the dual horse fronts, which is what this piece is. And this is a goat skin that I'm going to use as a liner for this. Not 100% sure what this is going to be, but we'll figure it out. I think I want to keep it simple and just go with a very simple, well, I already said simple, a very straightforward card wallet. So we're going to go with the old standby, as I call it. So 2 pieces of this, one for this back piece here, one of the Bordeaux horse front, then another piece of this here. And see, as much as I want to make the centerpiece this here, just so that this piece and the liner and everything is all the same shade, this piece is just too flimsy. So I'm not going to do that. What's going on, Miss King, representing Philly? Well, you're here for the I'm taking request portion. So I've basically already committed to taking this hide here, throwing a liner onto it like so, and then making, do I have any examples here? I do. Oh, I just lied. I don't. All right, give me 25 seconds. I'll be right back. Haha, didn't need the whole 25. So, I'm going to be making one of these. It's a 2-pocket wallet. This one here and this pocket here. So this style here, but from this and this and this here. And whoa. All right. Pay no attention to the fact that I almost dropped stuff. Matter of fact, let's just get this out the way so it can't fall. That's called being smart. All right, so this piece here is more sturdy than this piece, but it's still not very sturdy. So I'm gonna cheat. Oh yeah, request. So if you want to see me do something, like make something from a particular thing, or you just want to see a process, or if you just have a question about something, go on ahead, type it in the chat. I will either answer said question, perform said process, or start making said thing. As long as it doesn't cost too much money or take too much time, I'll do it here on stream. So for instance, if you said make a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, make a 6-pocket bifold, okay, I'll do that. If you want to see me make a set of 2 of these that are piano key themed, so they're black and white, I'll do that. I got black leather, I got white leather. I'm gonna start on this piece here. A phone wallet. Oh my god. Huh. All right, so I have to ask now because phone wallet, it sounds straightforward, but it actually isn't. Because there's a lot of different phone wallets out there now. So for instance, I could, because I have small magnets, I could make a small wallet that looks, I don't know, something similar to this, and then just stick it on the back, and it'll be a wallet that will stick to the back of one of your phones that have the mag case. That's a phone wallet. Just depends on what kind of phone you have. Or if you're talking about a wallet that is also a case, that requires molding, like wet molding something so that it goes around. I have neither the time nor the facilities for that one. A long wallet, oh, I can do that. Absolutely. And even still, even say a wallet that your phone could fit in, that still requires either extra material to create a pocket big enough for a general phone shape, or something that is wet molded or specifically shaped for a particular type of phone. That is very time consuming. Too time consuming for a stream. So the short answer for the phone wallet is unfortunately no, or at the very least not right now. But a long wallet, aka a roper, say one like this we could do on stream. Oh man, I knocked the whole thing out of alignment, didn't I? Yes, I did. Let me see if I can properly adjust this. I think that's better. All right. So we can do one of these if you're talking about a long one, if that's what you meant. I've done one version of this that actually I liked a whole lot because this piece is actually unnecessary because let's just say I didn't make it with the holes in the back to be able to close. So this is closing when it's empty, and when there's more stuff in the wallet, you can close it when it's more full. Either way, this, even if I use the magnet, this pocket or this portion serves no purpose. Yes, but with space for a phone to fit. I can't, not on stream, not for this one. Were it earlier in the day and I had a bunch of my stuff, probably, but not 11 o'clock and some change for me past midnight for you. I couldn't pull that off. Couldn't even begin to pull that off. I certainly wouldn't finish it on stream. These ones here, they are, hold on, dude. Because I was thinking about this earlier. This style of wallet, I'm not wallet, this style, because this is the iPhone 12. And truthfully, I don't think the 12s, even through I believe they're in 15 right now, are wider or even slimmer. I think they're all the same size, but what they give you is different. So like the software is different, the camera's better, that sort of stuff. So I think they're all about this size now. And I could make this maybe a little taller and then shift everything over a bit to make this a good pocket so that your phone fits in your wallet with your stuff. I've been thinking about that, but I haven't reverse engineered. Oh my God. I also said that I'd be taking requests within reason. So like to do that with the phone on the stream would require either pattern making from scratch or reverse engineering something. That's not within reason. Nope, no pocket, real simple. Well, we could get into, hey, words matter. Those words are in the description of my video and for all of my announcements for when I was going live. But where's my paper? If you're going to be doing this leatherwork stuff, you will, without question, be using a bunch of cardstock. If you think that's not the case, you are very, very mistaken. All right. So, if you are going to if you're going to make a wallet for your phone, you have to ask yourself two things. One, what shape do I want this in? And then two, am I going to leave the case on the phone? So me personally, I wear jeans a lot. If not jeans, then stuff like khaki and chinos. I live in South Texas, so a whole lot of jeans and cowboy boots and all the other stuff get worn down here a lot. So my phone is in my front pocket a whole lot. I don't want it to take up a lot of space. So if I was going to make a phone wallet, it would be, I wouldn't use my phone case. Okay. Well, again, it's in the description of the video, but regardless. So then you have to ask yourself, okay, what do I want for this phone case? All right, so you're going to want, obviously it's going to be have to be bigger than your phone. If you're going to want one where it's just a pocket for your phone, now you're going to have to factor in a lot of things. The most important thing that you're going to have to factor in is how thick your phone is. So at its widest, which is around the edge of the thing, of the edge of the phone with the case on it. So I've got 0.46, 0.47 inches. I also have Velcro on my phone because I like to stick my phone in various places at my house, so I can just leave it on the wall for things. So half inch, 0.52 inches. Break out the notebook. What is that? So 0.52 inches for the phone at its max thickness. This is 6.1, and it's barely fitting in there, so we're going to call that 6.11 just to be on the safe side. What, that says feet, inches. There we go. 6.11 inches. And accounting for the buttons, we're going to call that 3.2 just to be safe. All right, so put this back so I don't lose it. No pocket, just a slip in kind of thing. Okay. All right, so now we have our measurements. We know what we need, definitely. So for me, this is where my phone is sitting. It's half an inch thick, a little bit more than 6 inches long, a little bit more than just under 3.25 inches wide. So this is the phone there. So definitely we're gonna have to take into account the thickness of the material. Now, if you want something sleek for your phone, so I'm guessing, so you said, had one for measuring diamonds. Oh, super dope. So I'm guessing when you said no pocket, just a slip in kind of thing. So hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, so this is actually for my notebooks. Again, I like to keep stuff and write it down because they can't run out of batteries, and ain't nobody trying to take books for anything. So when you say a slip-in kind of thing, do you mean that you want a taco with a snap and a wrist strap? Okay, bet, I got you. So not like this, I guess similar to this. Well, I'll just leave my pen in there because that's just an example. Let me not get rid of my notebook though. All right, so something like this, but obviously that your phone would go into, and has a spot for some cards. Is that what we're talking about? Yes, but all open. Okay. And with the snap, so I'm guessing fits in, but a snap closure to keep the phone in place. All right. Okay. Well, that's pretty straightforward, actually. So the biggest thing that you'd have to take into account if you're going to make something like that is the thickness of the material and and your seam allowance. So the fact that your phone is, or at least for my case, my phone is half an inch thick on both ends of whatever it is that I'm cutting. So it has to be 6.1 inches, and then an extra little more than quarter of an inch up and a little more than quarter of an inch down, because those two pieces, when they come together, they're going to equal. I'm sorry, no, then you have to take into account your seam allowance. So, so half of that is 52, 2.51 inches, plus another eighth of an inch, which is 12.5. Math. 0.52 divided by 2.26 plus 1/8 is 12.5 per. All right, plus 0.125. I think I might have hit the wrong thing there. Oh no, I was right. All right, so basically 0.4 inches. So 6.1 plus, so 6.55, I'm sorry, 6.51 on both ends. So 6.11 plus zero point 0.4 inches on either side. That's how tall that has to be. And the same thing for the width. You're going to add 0.52, I'm sorry, 0.26 inches on either side of that as well. And that is your extra to account for the width and the seam allowance. I'm sorry, no, I did that. Yeah, so zero point 0.4 on 0.4 extra on this side, and the side where the seam is going to be. So for me, I'm right-handed. I put stuff in like this. So my piece would look like, where's my pen? Say this is the bottom piece. 3, 4, 5, 6. 0.4. Actually, it'd be 0.4 on both sides, so 0.8. 6 and 3/4 about here. 6 up here. Sorry, I counted the wrong thing. And 0.32 plus another 0.4, so another 8. So 1, 2, 3, and 3/4 is here. So a little bit more than. So that's my cross. Where's the smaller one? Here we go. No. Make sure that's properly lined up. So for me, did I count that right? Damn it. Ah, I used the wrong one. Should have used this one up here. This is what happens when you put the wrong damn marks on your page. Come on. There you go. So if you make two pieces like this, that is both your front and your back piece. So times 2. And then you just have to ask yourself how many work with. Okay. I missed your thing about your chat about it being Friday. All right, so now you have this piece times 2. That is your front and back piece. As you know, for instance, this would be if this were the right size for your phone. Now you have to ask yourself, what do you want your pockets to look like, and then how many pockets do you want on your case? Where are my pieces? This is the only real downside to having so many damned pattern pieces. You just don't know where they are all the time. There we go. What did this hit? Oh, okay, that's what. All right, here we go. And I think we are good with this. I don't think we need any further precise measurements. So now you got to ask yourself, how many cards do you want to carry, and then in what orientation that you want your cards. So these cards here are off. So these are acrylic templates. Now, don't worry that this is a little slim, because cards themselves are actually not nearly as wide as the template pieces. So these can be adjusted. Clearly, cards can fit on this inside this pattern, and you have more than enough room on each side for seam allowance. So that's not a big deal. All right, so now you have to ask yourself, do you want your cards to be horizontal, like so, with, and then in what style that you want them, because styles matter. You want to enjoy what it is that you look at, especially when you made it. So that's why you have all these, that's why I like having all these options here. So we've got your simple piece, straightforward, yep, card slot, and then the bottom slot here. Or something a little more stylized with the wavy pattern. So you just got to ask yourself what it is that you want. What do you want to see every day when you're utilizing the thing that you made? So horizontal is one option. This one might be a little bit more appealing because phones are vertical most of the time. Come on. So easier to take out. 4 to 6, swoop 1. I'm not sure what you meant by 4 to 6. Oh, I'm sorry. You meant the one with the swoop on. Okay, so I'm guessing you meant, whoa, this one here. Let me make sure that it's the proper one because there's a couple in here. And they are subtly different, but different enough that they'll cause me problems. Okay. And I would be remiss if I didn't just show you the options of the vertical ones. So you have your, well, of course, they're all there. So your regular curve, take these out because they're easier to see. I didn't take the backing off of them. And then the one here that's got the slight curve to it, and it can slightly curve to whichever direction that you have it facing. Yep, and there's the pocket piece for that there. Yep, and there it is. There's this piece here for the angular cutout, as we'll call it. So you just have to ask yourself which one it is that you want to see and in what orientation. This is a mild example, but again, this is for my notebook. And I wanted this style, especially when I was in the military, because when we were out to sea, I didn't need my whole wallet. I just needed my book for taking notes because I was a senior member and you had to take notes for every damn thing to relate to the rest of the sailors. And you couldn't not have a notebook with you. That was unofficially a part of your damn uniform. And you also needed your military ID and your Navy cash card so you could buy stuff. So I only ever needed 3 cards with me ever. So I would have this with me, and then this card slot carried things. I was good to go. And I wanted the horizontal orientation for this style because it was easy to get easy to get my finger and thumb in to grab stuff out. Easier than it would be if I had the vertical part here. I mean, it just makes more sense. There's more surface area to grab as opposed to just the top of the card there. Having said that, nothing wrong with this style, just didn't give me what I needed. So you could have, so if you want this style here, you could have it this orientation or like so, and you just have to center it a bit differently just to make sure that you get maximum coverage when you put it on. Come on. All right. But since you said the one with the swoops, that's what we're going to do. Getting the wires crossed here. So let's remove the clutter. Horizontal, gotcha. See, I'm over here saying, oh no, that's going to take too long. And then you told me something that just basically unlocked all the secrets, and now we're starting. I'd like to think that I wasn't lying. I was just wrong. And that's me saving my own ego. Hope no therapists are watching this. They have a field day with it. I would say don't rub it in, but if I were in your place, I would rub it in. So, yeah, you earned that one. Okay. And so horizontal. So the downside for the horizontal, you're not going to have very much room for multiple card slots. So roughly how many card slots do you think you want on a case like this? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and also the reason why I'm not using this one is because the distance from the edge to the inside is different on this one. You can see there for here. I think I must either lost or broken the piece that goes to this. But listen, Lynn. All right. So not a lot of cards. All right. So you said not a lot, so I'm going to assume less than 4. So I'm down to go with 3 card slots. So that should be pretty straightforward. So bottom one, second one, then one more up. Shouldn't add. Okay, maybe 2 to 3. Got you. All right. Well, the upside is we don't need to map those out because we already have the acrylic. So let's get the proper ruler. Oh, pro tip, as much as I am all about maximizing your dollar here in Leathercraft and not spending a ton of money on a bunch of stuff like tools and everything, sometimes you're going to have to get certain tools because that is without question your best bet. Lesson that I learned the hard way, not all rulers are the same. All the tutorials that I saw when I was getting my start and you know living it up on YouTube University, learning everything as much as I could, everybody said cork back ruler, cork back ruler, cork back ruler, and I was just thinking to myself, bro, a ruler's a ruler. What's the big deal? And then I find out the hard way that the cork back ruler is the right way to go for your leathercraft journey. And it is because the cork on the back, whoa, voice cracking. The cork on the back provides a really good amount of friction to keep your ruler in place when you are measuring things and making cuts. You'll have to, so if you're cutting through something that is either very tough or a thicker piece, and you're just pressing down really hard. I got to move this to the side so I can have better access to it. And you're either pressing down really hard or pressing up against the ruler just to make sure that your cut is nice and snug and fit. If you don't have that cork on the back, it could move a lot easier. It could move a whole lot easier on you. And then you're stuck. Very much stuck. Da-dum. And that is still useful enough to make something out of later. Less so for this, but I do want to keep those measurements. All right, so now we know that we got to cut 2 pieces from this. What color should I make this? I don't want it to be too flimsy. I don't want it to be so thick that it's going to be problematic. If it's very thick, then I have to make a bigger piece. I mean, this is the last bit that I can find anyway of my moose hide. I don't know if I have 2 pieces left in here though. Let me check. Let me Tetris this bad boy. If I do this, I could pull it off, make a little thing out of moose hide there. It'll be interesting. That's for damn sure. Hmm. And it's not so thick. Wait, what happened to the purple? Oh, that was stuff that I was gonna make a small. I was gonna make one of these out of, but that was elephant hide and goat, and there's not enough. Is there? No, there's not enough. Totally. I have more than enough goat, but not enough elephant of that color. Not unless I cut it from the a bigger piece, and I'm waiting on a guy to tell me if he wants to buy that from me or not. But I do have a bunch of other purple stuff. I got some of this. It's got a nice crackle texture to it. Looks pretty cool. And do I have anything else that's purple? I got some purple suede. I wouldn't recommend a case be made out of suede. It's just not stiff enough. Um, I don't think I have enough of that purple ostrich. Even then, that's still really thin and flimsy. Mm, that's got this is bison. It's got a brand mark on it. Personally, I think it looks pretty cool. That's just me though. Um, Basketball leather. I got a bunch of that. It's not purple at all though. Actually, this isn't very sturdy anyway. No, that's it feels good, but it's a little too soft. I want something with some body to it. Sorry, Moose. You'll get the call up later. Purple ostrich. Oh yeah, purple ostrich look beautiful. I got to stitch this up later tonight, but it feels good. I applied some Resolene to give it a little bit of gloss. Oh yeah, purple ostrich feels dope. I'm trying to find something that's pretty sturdy. I mean, this is kind of stiff, and it's thin enough that I could add a liner to it, and it would be just fine. You know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go ahead and make this thing bougie. Let's do this. Got this piece. Mhm. Let me rescue that. There we go. The purple ostrich wallet. I think I have that one priced at 75 because it's lined with that same hold up. It's lined with this same purple goat material because honestly, depending on the section of the ostrich, it's really thin. It needs a liner, or it's going to be a terrible piece, just too flimsy. Which extended the build time. So, oh hey, no doubt I will message you on Instagram and we'll work out the payment and everything. But I will Be happy to sell that to you. Absolutely. All right. So this, and 3 card slots. Hmm. So the main one. Then these things. Okay. Purple's my favorite. Yeah, I love purple. I didn't realize it until 2019. My cousin's oldest girl, she was having a Sweet 16 party, and I wanted to surprise everybody by coming through for the party because I lived in Japan at the time and they were in the South in the U.S. So I flew in a few days ahead of time and showed up the day of, shocked everybody. But I didn't know because I was calling myself surprising people, and that it was her call because she's the birthday girl, that everybody had to wear something purple. So I had to rush to the mall the day before and grab something purple, and nothing in my wardrobe was purple. So I looked for some stuff, grabbed a few things, and I was like, man, this looks really dope. I was wearing it, felt great wearing it. Everybody was telling me it looked good on me. It was a nice color. So I was thinking, maybe I need to step it up and add some color to this wardrobe. And purple just fit well. So it's been all over my stuff ever since. Matter of fact, the newest watch that I got has a purple dial. I specifically picked it because of that. Of course, I would have did that to myself. Both of my damn scratch alls are in the car. Oh wait, that's right. So what I'm not going to do, I'm not going to make this curve here. I'm just going to make that a straight line so that it fits properly on the edge of the case. I don't want to put a curve someplace where there doesn't need to be one. Make sure that these curves are facing the right direction because I've done that before. Marked out stuff facing opposite directions. That's called wasting your money. Don't waste your money. So I'm marking these because I'm going to cut them out with the scissors. It's just going to go faster. And honestly, as much as the scratch all is a great tool, if you have a really good blade and you mark everything, technically you're marking the first layer of your so you're cutting through it a bit. So when you're cutting it with the scissors, it makes it a little bit easier. All right. Bottom pockets. 1, 2. This I'm not looking forward to. So I made this with cardstock, and and it is not sturdy. So if I'm not careful with what I'm marking, I could cut into the pattern. Don't nobody need that, and I certainly don't want to do that on stream. Already made enough mistakes. This damn pole in front of me is killing me. All right. Come on. There we go. Okay. Now, if we all pass kindergarten, cutting along the lines, you know what? Use this sturdy repair here. All right. Clearly, rule number 1 is whatever Charlene requests, just do it. Oh no, that'll be too time consuming. And then I reverse engineer a damn pattern. Ridiculous. You know what? I'm gonna make this a highlight of the stream. There we go. I always tell people, when you're wrong, just admit it and move on as a better person. And I was wrong. And I'm gonna make that a highlight of the stream. I'm gonna call that a growing pain. Now, I'm not sure if you all can see this, but this isn't just a line scratched because I made it with the blade. It's actually a slight cut, and it's making it easier for the scissors to be in place. So a really, really good scratch-all and proper technique, you'll get the same result. But again, I left my damn scratch-alls in the car. I'm trying to make it so that the streams, that I'm not abandoning the stream so often. It's a bad habit. Scrap bin, too small. Also, Miss King, message me tomorrow because I'll tag you in that Philadelphia Eagles wallet that I made for my cousin that she gave to her dad on Father's Day. Because I made it a while ago. I'll have to scroll down probably into, I think 2020. I know it's on my Instagram, but it's a ways down. So just hit me up and I'll send it over to you, or I'll just tag you in the comments on that so you can find it. But it turned out really well. It hurt to do it though, cause your boy is a Niners and a Falcons fan. But I was happy to do something for the family. Why are these neighbors' dogs barking so late at night? Why are they even outside? They're tiny little yappy dogs. They should be inside where it's warm. All right. Hmm. Too small. Yeah, too small. First off, my Falcons and my Niners are not scrubs. Also, no, I will not get over it. I will fully acknowledge that the Eagles are a great team and probably have some of the most diehard fans I could ever think of. I mean, part of me wants to say that the Cleveland Browns fans, well, Jesus, the Cleveland Browns fans are probably the most dedicated to their city. Because when the team left, they was like, nah, get another team in here. Yeah, we're going to call them the Browns. I'm like, bro, what? So they dedicated to having a football team in their city. And they dedicated to calling that team the Browns. So good on them. But I don't know, man. Eagles fans are a special breed. And the loyalty, I'll say that much. Loyalty is on point for the Eagles fans. I hate to say it, but there ain't too many die-hard Falcons fans. There's a whole lot of people that will support the team, but I have not met a single season ticket holder the whole time I was in Atlanta that wasn't like a businessman. And really they just got them things for tax purposes, write-offs and stuff. Why you hating on my team? Come on now. So yeah, but every time the Falcons was on TV, I'm like, all right, bet the Falcons winning. And it's like, bro, they've been losing. So I'm like, but they win in this game. And if they lose, obviously it's because the refs cheated. Love my team. Although when I was a kid, my mom we lived in the Bay Area, so my first exposure to football was the Niners. So can't tell me nothing bad about the Niners. That was way back in the before time with Jerry Rice, Joe Montana, Roger Craig, Tony Cross, Ronnie Lott, all of them. Hall of Famers. Yep. Yeah, I am that one season ticket holder. I'm sure there's I'm sure there's a few people, maybe even a whole bunch of people who just love the team and they're down for the squad, but I ain't met too many. Truthfully, I'm sure there's a lot of fans who just love to support Atlanta, and I'm all for that. But I haven't met too many people who's just all Falcons all day, got the flag outside the house and everything. I'd have met a bunch of Eagles fans in Japan. They don't play, so respect. Mm, all right. Yeah, that's big enough for a piece there. And about to break out that damn piece of glass. It's under so much stuff. There we go. I'm not sure if you were here when I was skiving earlier. So, so I want to keep the bulk down. This isn't very thick. And truthfully, the inside feels pretty good too. So, man, leave them Dallas fans alone. I'll say this much though, because my friends got me into playing fantasy football the last couple of years, and a bunch of my team were Dallas players, so I didn't realize it, but I had been supporting Dallas all year because of the quarterback and a couple of the offensive skill players, and I was like, oh man, it felt weird. Hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna need to drop this pretty soon, which is weird. I think I used it too much. More Dallas. Oh, trust me, it's not like I was like, oh yeah, let's go Dallas. I was like, man, Dak, if you don't if you don't start doing X, Y, and Z, yeah. So, but as the quarterback goes, so goes the team. But really, I was just hoping that Dak made these plays and didn't throw interceptions and stuff. And then thankfully, fantasy ends with the regular season. So, but I live here in Texas. There's a whole lot of Cowboys fans. A lot of my friends are out here. They love the Cowboys. So I try to not be salty. Hmm. Get in some of this before I strap it up. Mm. Oh yeah, you can't tell them Dallas fans nothing. It don't matter how great or terrible they doing. It's Dallas all day. So I still say the Dallas fans love their team, but they love their team a little too much, like delusionally too much. If y'all on a skid or if you didn't had a bad season, come on, man, just admit that y'all having a bad season. Doesn't mean that your team is bad. Just cop that they ain't doing so hot and that they need to make some adjustments or some trades or some moves in the back office. Don't sit here and tell us that they great when they're not playing great. Like with the Eagles, like if they're having a great season, they're gonna let you know. If they ain't playing so hot, they'll just be like, oh yeah, we doing X, Y, and Z, but we making these plays and X, Y, and Z is gonna be better. Like they realistic with they with what they see and how they follow the team. Them Dallas fans, bruh. Wait, wrong one. Here we go. I was a little let down by the Super Bowl though. Not really because my Niners lost. I expected both teams to score a lot more. I thought the total score for the game was going to be over 60. It was barely 30. Oh, I'm sorry, it was barely over 30. Now keep this up there. Keep that out the way. I'm going to be mad if this don't turn out right. But that's going good though. I mentioned it earlier, but I don't think you were on the stream, Miss King. This is a French skiver. It's used to remove the bulk from material. Most of the time, stuff gets skived from the edges, so just the bottom edge or right there where things get stitched together. But I want this to be a little slimmer since the phone's going to be inside the case. So just taking some of the material down. Okay, okay. Why is it rocking? It's really throwing me off. What's underneath it? Oh, damn. Come on, get properly aligned. It's a little better. Must be under the mat. Well, let's fix that. There you have it. Dope. Yeah, the one that they're doing in my area, wrong one. The one they're doing in my area is um, minimalist bifold, but with exotic leather inlays. And they already finished. Oh, not finished, but the class is sold out. They already had enough people sign up. So I talked to the guy who runs it, and I was like, how about I bring my own exotics and I sit in on the class? Because that one for the exotics, you don't just, you, I think the course is $10, but you also have to buy the exotic material that you use. So I'm like, yo, how about I just bring my own shit? But you don't charge me for the class. And I don't think he's allowed to say yes, but he's thinking about it. Because, Oh yeah, because with me in the course, like one, he's not going to spend too much time giving me proper instruction, like spending too much time having to deal with me. He'll really just be task directing, and I'm kind of sitting in. But if anybody else in the course needs some assistance, I can talk them through it. So it could potentially go faster. It's happened a few times. So he might be down. All right. So we are to the point where we're going to be affixing this to one side. You said you wanted this horizontal. So I want to make sure that we line this up properly. Da 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 da. Actually, no. Start here. Even amount on both sides. Yep. I ain't been to Philly since 2014, I think it was. Either 2014 or 2013, the end of the year. Or towards the end of the year, I think it was fall, November, December time frame. It was when my sister was actually in town. It wasn't really planned. I was in Baltimore for this convention. I thought she was in school and she was back home. I was like, yo, the stuff I'm trying to do at this convention, they're not going to do until the end of the day. I'll come through and see you. So I drove up from Baltimore. And hung out. She took me to, cause I ain't never really been to Philly except for when my shit pulled in, so I was just a tourist. And I was like, yo, what are we gonna do? Like, we gonna get some of this Philly cheesesteak and this and the other? She was like, yeah, but we're not gonna go to where everybody else is going. We're going to Ishkabibbles. I was like, what the heck is Ishkabibbles? She was like, just shut up, come with me. And it was fire. She's like, everybody else going to like all the tourists go to this other spot. You're going to be sitting there waiting there for really long. It ain't going to be good. Come here. So I'm like, all right, cool. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Next time I come through, I'm going to see what's up with all these other spots. If I'm real lucky, Keith Lee will come through, and then he'll let me know where all the fire food spots is. Hell, anything will be better than the Bay Area or Atlanta. Honestly, he lit up Atlanta. Folks was acting wild. In the Bay Area, he didn't really light up. So one of my cruises from Baltimore, dope, dope. Yeah, he didn't really light up the Bay Area so much as he just said it wasn't really ready for tourism and all the other sort of stuff. And truth be told, I could have told him that. Last time I was out there, I was just thinking, man, what is this city doing with all this money? They got, I think it's Union Square. That's in the middle of downtown San Francisco. So they got a Louis Vuitton store, Macy's, a big shopping plaza, the Apple store, all this wild stuff. And then maybe a quarter mile from that, you have the Tenderloin District. And just like Dave Chappelle said, ain't a damn thing tender about that place. It's just, I mean, you name everything bad that you could see in a city, And you see it there in the Tenderloin. Is wild. And it's so close to where there's so much prosperity and money. I just don't know what the city is. I don't know what they're doing out there. So, all right, bet. Da, 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 da. Oh, here it is. The one time I need that freaking sewing needle. No. Please be in here. I used to keep a stash. Mm. All right, let's remove this clutter. You know what's funny? I have one, and because I left my house today after I got a bunch of stuff straightened out, and I went to the Tandy Leather Shop. And a lot of times, once I'm gone, I'll go sit down at a coffee shop or someplace like that, and I'll just do some hand sewing before I spend a chunk of the night at the house doing machine stitching. And I left all my hand stitching stuff in the car. So all my stuff is together where honestly I use it the most. It's just not here. And I had a needle earlier, pero yo no sé de dónde. Yo no sé. Claro que no. I feel like it's right under something. And as soon as I wrap the stream up, I'm gonna find like four of them. Make sure it's not underneath some of the stuff I just set to the side. Well, don't need this actually. I can put this away. You carry a toolbox for your stuff. Actually, no, I carry my stuff because I consider it advertising. I carry my stuff in a bag that I made a couple of years ago. And this is just a terrible place to put this. So I keep the stuff in a bag, and I'll have my stuff out. I'll go sit down someplace, start doing it. It gives me an opportunity to interact with people in real life, so I'm not a hermit. But it's also advertising, so it's good for the business. I do not want to leave to the car to go grab it, but I might have to because all the other needles I have are just far too large for what I'm trying to do. All right, chat. Give me 60 seconds. I will be right back. Actually, let me stop lying. Oh, yeah. All right, so yeah, I'll be back in about 60 seconds. Time me. I just got to grab some stuff. All right, I'm back. That's probably more than 60 seconds. Sorry about that. All right, Miss King, to better answer your question, so some years ago, I experimented with a bag design. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't experiment with the design. This design was somebody else's, and I gave it a shot. And it was actually a lot of material, and I used something that was way too soft. It feels really, really good, but it's not very sturdy for a bag. Having said that, I did add some stuff to it, like stingray accents for the handle and for the badge, and then some black. I think this was Horween leather. If it's not Horween, it's from I think Wicked and Craig. I got it from Maverick Leather Company. So this is the bag I carry my stuff in. Might as well use that. I'm not going to run to the other room to get the mallet, so I'm going to use that. And here we go. Oh yeah, it's a whole bunch. You know what? Since I'm already here, might as well bust out the purple thread. Since we're making a whole project out of purple here. Remember, always cut your thread at an angle so that it's easier to thread through the eye than if you just cut it square. It's always a good practice to double lock your thread, but this is just going to be to hold in some card pockets. Not that big a deal. Try a neutral color. Um, I want to. However, this is going to be completely hidden. I'm not going to hand stitch this one. I'm going to machine stitch it. So I'm just going to... Come on. It's the biggest downside to this damn injury. It's little things are so hard to do. Now I'm going to be the first to tell you this is a little bit lazy, and I wouldn't suggest doing this with anything else other than card slots at the bottom. You do not need to saddle stitch this. You can just do a running stitch, a single running stitch for this, and you'll be just fine. Unless you know somebody who is just slamming their cards into their wallet with the force of an anime antagonist. You can just running stitch this bad boy like nobody's business. Easy day. Your cards don't need that much. It's just a fact. Now, if you want to saddle stitch it, literally nothing wrong with that. Let me just open these up so it's easier. You will, in fact, be providing a better stitch. But again, no one's going to be doing anything with so much force that they're going to break through bonded polyester stitching unless it's, if it's not saddle stitched. That's just not a thing that's happening. If you think I'm wrong, by all means, please report me to the Council of Leather Workers. I'll answer for my crimes. I won't recount my testimony, though. I'm standing by that 10 toes down. Why did I glue that down? Silly. Thought I just glued the bottom. All right. That should open these spots up. Yep, a lot better. BRB Roger. Whoa. Yeah. Anybody else in the chat? If you have any questions, comments, concerns, complaints, or grievances, please let them be known. I do listen. Oh, there we go. There we go. Jesus, there's just too much clutter here. Let's go. Put this away. Won't need this until much later. Done skiving. Trash. Keep this here just in case. Done cutting. Done cutting with this one. Of course, there'd be a little piece hanging off. It's just my luck. I don't know that name. Maybe? There's a lot of times when I'm picking the music for the shorts, it's either something somebody recommended or something that I heard and just sounded really good, so I wanted to utilize it because it had a really cool upbeat feel to it or something like that. But I don't recognize the name right off. I'll look them up though. Mm, mhm. All right. Black violin. Okay, bet. I need some. I need some stuff to break the complacent cycle of music I've been in for a while. I don't listen to too much anything new. For me, I'm just like, I know what I like, and I don't feel like branching out, which is uh, it prevents me from having to listen to a bunch of stuff I end up not liking, but it also is kind of lazy. I'm limiting myself. All right. Shameless plug. iTunes. Hmm. Fits there. Fits there. Rock solid. So I got to stitch this side here and then stitch all the way around, and that should be done. Acoustic Alchemy. They were just. Now I have heard that name. I just cannot remember for the life of me where I heard it. Somebody was telling me about them, and the name sounded cool, but I think we were at work, or rather, they were at work, and they couldn't bring the music up at the time, so I ended up not catching it from them. All right. All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna stitch this edge up. Actually, let me go ahead and just prep this. I'm pretty sure the seam allowance was slightly more than I needed on all sides. So this phone should fit in there nicely with the case on it. And if not with the case, then it should fit in there nicely without the case. But if it fits in there without the case, then that just means that my measurement of the thickness was fine, but my measurement for the seam allowance was off. That's a little too much, but we'll still make it work. Come on. There we go. All right. I will be back in a short few moments. I just gotta take care of this edge here. Oh, Yanni, yeah, definitely. My mom's was into that. How did this happen? Come on. Run into a minor error with the sewing machine. Also, I got to charge up the. Was that an old lady joke? No, no, for real. My so I call her my mom. She's my dad's wife. So I have two moms. You know, obviously my biological mom. I spend about half the time with both of my parents. So I don't like saying stepmom because I feel like that diminishes the role that this woman played in my life. Yeah, it diminishes the role that this woman played in my life. The same way saying that, calling my stepdad, he was more than that. So I just, whatever. But she really liked Yanni. I had never heard of this man before. And she had this DVD, I think it was, of him just at this one performance, and it was amazing. So fire. But yeah, I had something was up with the sewing machine. I have to rethread it through the needle. So give me another 2 minutes. And I'm back. Live at the Acropolis. Yeah, that was the one. I'm pretty sure that was the one. I had only heard his name mentioned in, I don't know, something on TV. Somebody's cracking jokes, and they're saying something about Yanni, and I was like, "Who the heck is Yanni?" And I don't know how it had come up, but I don't know. I think she mentioned it or I mentioned it. I don't know. But she was like, "Oh, I have one of the things." She had played it, and I was like, "Man, this guy's dope." I don't know why anybody was cracking jokes about Yanni. You're killing it. If you haven't already used a Thread Zap, it is outstanding. He was married to Linda Evans. Really? Yeah. If you haven't used a Thread Zap before, understand it is a great, great tool, but it doesn't regulate its heat at all. So once you put a battery in, it'll get hot really fast and it'll do its job very well, burning off the ends of the threads, long as it's something synthetic like nylon or polyester. If it's linen or cotton, yeah, it's not gonna work. But it'll be very hot while the battery is fresh, and then as you use it, the power output goes down. It doesn't just give you a regular hot temperature because it doesn't need to get red hot. And on a fresh battery, and you press the button down and hold it, the tip will glow red. It's 100% not necessary. So you could potentially uh, apply too much heat and damage your piece. You could potentially burn yourself because when metal is hot, it's not always glowing red. So you might let go of it, and then a little while later, a very short period of time, when it looks like it's not hot, you could still burn yourself on the element. So you got to get in the habit of putting it facing away, always putting it back in the case. And if you're burning a lot, yeah, it's really easy to forget. Oh wait, totally forgot the most important thing. You gotta let everybody know who made it. And by who made it, I mean Miss King making me look bad because I lied to y'all. James. Shoot, me too. I am very aware of Dallas and of all of the drama about who shot who. Where's that piece at? Here we go. You want to talk about dating yourself? Let me tell you, I watched Purple Rain on Betamax more times than I can count. So there you go. I've dated myself too. Oh, of Dallas, yeah. Um, I don't know if it's still running, but it was going for a while. I don't know if I don't know if it's still on. I heard good things about it. I heard they did a good job with it. Yeah. Although I'm not gonna lie, even though obviously Prince was the main character, man, Morris Day and Jerome, them was the dudes. 7779311. And then don't even get me started about the bird. What? Come on. Gotta get this aligned. Show you right. There we go. Where? Yep, that should fit just well, not even barely. It'll fit. It'll be a little snug like it should be. Just got to make sure that I give it a really tight seam allowance. Mm. All right, I'll be back in another 2-ish minutes. All right, I was wrong. It's more than 2 minutes. But I promise you, everything will be fine. All right, so sorry about being gone for so long. It was not personal, I swear. But the bobbin on my sewing machine ran out. And instead of spooling up a new one, I decided to just use a different color. So we've got black on this side and a complementary purplish sort of thread on the other side. So we've got two-tone thread, and we've got to break the glue up a bit. Here we go. Bone folder to break the glue up. Oh snap! Sorry about that, y'all. A little too forceful, but bam, there we go. And it is a bit snug, but there we have it. Sleeve for the phone, and cards can go in nicely. Do I have any kind of cards I could put in there? No. Well, see if my cover up all the personal info, but yeah. My driver's license fits in there quite nicely with a little bit of room to spare on both sides. So with time and use as it gets stretched out more, boom, there you go. It'll break in. Yep. So there we have it with measurements of your phone. Where did my calipers go? Oh, here we go. So with accurate measurements and knowledge of what you need for your seam allowance, all we needed was one piece of cardstock with a reminder of how many pieces to cut and a couple of acrylic pieces, and we got something original with a very, very shameless logo dead center. Normally, I don't do this. I try to keep it in the corner someplace, but hey, why not? Thank you very, very much, Miss King. Come, come on. Can't wait to break that in. All right, and card is out. You're right. It would be well done. It will be well done once I stop tapping the thing. I should truthfully just go ahead and drop the. I think it's 160 bucks on an overhead rig. Only downside is, from what I can see, the rig that I want is specifically only, or it's a minimum of 39 inches wide, which is, it will fit on this table, but my press right there won't fit on it. I'll have to have the press overlapped onto the work table. So it would be, the press would sit right about here, and then this would have to move in just a bit also. I don't know. I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. Okay, so we got 3 people here off in the chat. Miss King has proved me very wrong by saying something would be too difficult, and it wasn't. Does anybody else watching have a request or a question or they just want to see something else that I might have, any sort of material, I mean, I'll talk about it. Oh yeah, the gauge. Well, truthfully, always willing to boss. I mean, give directions. There's a well, so far as I'm concerned, there's only slight difference in bossing someone around and giving directions, and that is whether or not you are able and willing to engage in said direction. I've worked with a lot of people who would say do the thing, and I didn't know how or didn't understand a certain aspect of it. And instead of explaining, they would just say do the thing. And that's not how you train people. That's not how you get stuff done. Truthfully, that's how you teach people to wing it and or cut corners. So, if you're willing to join in, that's called being a boss. Giving direction. I mean, if you can't also show, it's less useful. Having said that, some people just can't understand. Uh, as much as I talk, I'm sure y'all have figured out that I'm a wordy kind of person, and it also means that, at least for me, I have several different ways of explaining things to people. So if I'm explaining something and they don't get it, I'll try like seven different ways, and I'll have to after a while I'll just tell them, hey, look, either you can't get it or you're not trying to get it because there's no way that you don't understand what I'm telling you. And they'll get mad, and then I'm like, all right, we'll go somewhere else then. And they will, and they'll complain about me. And because of my reputation, people will tell them, hey, look, either you can't get it or you're not trying to get it because that's how I roll. I don't just tell people once and then leave them to it. What in the world is. Oh, okay, it's edge paint. All right. I think that I can improve this design a bit. Yeah, I think it was the right call to remove the thickness, remove the bulk there. But I think maybe if I would have added another eighth of an inch, then it'd be easier to slide the phone in and out of with the case still on. Without the case, just a screen protector and a wrap, this would be just fine. It'd be perfect. All right. Well, this is potentially my longest stream. We're at 96 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. If you have not already, please slide me a like, leave a comment. If you have not already, I would really appreciate it. If you are getting some value from the channel, please feel free to subscribe. If you are not getting some value from the channel, please let me know where you think I could improve so that I can fix that and have some growth. And outside of that, if anybody here has any questions, comments, concerns, complaints, or grievances, feel free to let me know. I see you had a bigger phone like the Alpha 14. I've had two sales especially. Um, is the 14 bigger? Because I don't have the max. I just have the regular 12, and I haven't had a max in a while, and they're what, another half inch bigger across this way. I can't remember, but it's okay. I'm making my own. Oh yeah. Well, hopefully my outside of my hubris, hopefully the process helps. But yeah, if you and where's the so I'm trying to think of the formula. So you have the TOM. So that's the thickness of the material. So however thick this material is, plus the plus the length, or so I'll just put length slash width slash height. So this is not the math, like this divided by this. It's this or this or this. So those things plus 1/8 of an inch. And 1/8 of an inch is 0.125 inches. And it's just a thing to remember. 1/8 is 12.5, and 1/12 is 8.5. It's weird, but that's just what I remember. So if you're gonna have a seam allowance of 1/8 of an inch, which is pretty standard, it's 0.125. And if you're gonna have if you're sewing something thicker, and you're gonna have a greater seam allowance, then that would be 1/4 of an inch, which would be 0.25. So whatever thickness of this material is, plus the distance for the length and the width and the height, plus whatever your seam allowance is. For smaller items, 1/8 of an inch is the go-to. For thicker items, between 1/8 and 1/4. Yeah, so I got the iPhone 12 with my case, and you said you had an OtterBox, so your case is probably going to be thicker. So I had 0.52 for the thickness, 6.12 for the height, 3.2 for the width. And then I didn't factor in the thickness of the material because I knew I was going to use something thin enough. It wasn't going to be a big deal. But this is 2, maybe 3 ounces. If you're going to use something a little sturdier, which it's not a bad idea. If you're going to use something 3 to 4 ounces or more, you're definitely going to need to factor in the thickness of material, because this is taking up space. So you'll need more around to fit in for the same, to maintain the same sewing allowance. So just remember, oh man, battery's about to die on me. So yeah. So this formula here, thickness of material plus the length or width or height plus your sewing allowance. And then you should be pretty solid so far as what you need. This was pretty good. It's a little snug. If you wanted to make this a solid 0.13 or a 0.135, it'll be a little bit easier. It'll be a little bit easier to get the material into. So there you have it. And it's a similar formula when you're making other things like knife sheets too. All right. Thank y'all for rocking with me. I really, really appreciate it. Again, don't forget to slide me a like on the way out the door for the stream. I appreciate it. And I don't know if this is going to be an every Friday thing, but it will be out when I announce it for the if I'm going to be taking suggestions or not. That's all I got. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. I'm Jay Renard, and I'm out. Peace.